Good evening. I'm Richard Catt. Action 6 News is a production of the Lakeview 6th grade classes. With the editorial help of their teachers, Mr. John Erickson, Mrs. Kelly Chapman, and myself, the students have created this news program. We hope you enjoy the 1991-92 Action 6 News.
Good evening. For CNN, this is Action 6 News. I'm Stephanie Meir.
And I'm Casey Bars with the news for today, 1991-92. In our lead story, in Los Angeles, after a year of simmering, the city, particularly in the South Central District, broke out in riots today in the aftermath of the trial of 4 white police officers charged in the beating of Rodney King. Blacks and whites alike attacked police headquarters, and fires, looting, and gun battle broke out overnight after the 4 white policemen were acquitted in the infamous videotaped beating of King, a black motorist. It is estimated that at least 51 people were killed and 2,700 injured in the riots. The cost of the damage inflicted will certainly reach well into the millions of dollars. Sarah Hutchinson has the story.
In Los Angeles, where a jury which included an Asian, a Hispanic, and no blacks found 4 white police officers not guilty of beating black motorist Rodney King. The decision sparked violence and caused several deaths throughout many areas of the United States, primarily in South Central Los Angeles and downtown area. Jurors have held back, telling why they reached their decision. One juror agreed to be interviewed by us as long as we agreed not to identify her. How do you feel about your experience as a juror for this case?
This experience has been an extremely difficult and stressful one, which all the members of the jury agonized over a great deal. We feel we have done the best job we possibly could have done.
Do you have any regrets about the decision that was made?
No, I have no regrets about the not guilty verdict.
What is some of the information that you as a jury based your decision on?
Rodney King was chased by police for more than 8 miles before he was pulled over. He controlled the action. He could have stopped it. When he got out of the car, he could have put his hands in the air. He would have been left alone.
How severe do you feel the beating was?
After looking at the videotape for more than 30 times, I've noticed a lot of blows. When watched in slow motion, they weren't actually touching him. Those batons are heavy. But when you look at King's body 3 days after the incident, not much damage was done.
Was the behavior of the 4 police officers an example of racism against a black man?
Not at all. There were 2 other blacks in King's car who surrendered and were not beaten.
Let's go now to Angela Knapp, who is with Los Angeles Mayor Tom Bradley.
Mayor Bradley, how do you feel about the things that have been done in your city since the 4 Los Angeles policemen have been found not guilty of the charges brought against them?
This is a matter that needs to be dealt with by the court and not on the streets.
Governor Pete Wilson has declared this area a state of emergency due to the rioting. What else has been done at this time?
2,000 National Guardsmen have been brought in to quiet the riots. We have received much assistance from other law enforcement departments.
What have you personally done as the mayor in order to try to restore peace to this violence outbreak and calm the riots?
I have ordered a dusk-to-dawn curfew in the hardest-hit areas, banned the sale of transfer of ammunition within the city, and prohibited the sale of gasoline or other flammable liquids for use in anything except motor vehicles.
How safe are the people of these hard-hit areas?
We are beginning to get a hold of the situation, but for now, in order to be sure that our kids are safe, more than 100 schools remain closed and the curfew will be strictly enforced.
Hopefully the outlook of Los Angeles will continue to brighten day by day. This has been Angela Knapp reporting in Los Angeles for CNN Action 6 News.
The HIV virus has forced Irvin Magic Johnson to retire from his professional basketball career. As a result, he has chosen to speak out publicly, encouraging AIDS prevention and safe sex. Health officials hope his celebrity status will cause more people to listen and respond to the message.
This is Andrew Manitas reporting from Los Angeles. Magic Johnson has announced that he is infected with the HIV virus, the virus that leads to acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Magic, how has this affected you?
I was devastated. This ended my NBA career, but my main worry, though, was that my wife and unborn child might be infected with the HIV virus. They have been tested, and the results show that thankfully they are not infected.
Are people listening to the message?
I believe they are because the day after the announcement, a large number of people nationwide went and got the test.
You have been selected to play for the U.S. in the Olympics in Barcelona. Is this a great thrill for you?
Yes, it is a great honor to represent my country. I also am looking forward to playing again. It will be my last chance to play with the other NBA players, many of them friends for a number of years.
Magic, one last tough question. Are you afraid to die?
I'm going to live my life the way I play basketball. I'm going to go full speed. I don't want people feeling sorry for me. I'll still be the same happy-go-lucky guy I've always been.
Thank you, Magic. Millions of fans will still be cheering for you to win this last big one. John Carnes is in Chicago with one of Magic's best friends.
Thank you, Andrew. Superstar Magic Johnson has been a close friend of Magic's for many years. Their on-court battles are legendary, but the feeling of mutual respect has grown into a strong friendship that goes beyond the playing floor. Michael, how did you react when you first heard of Magic's condition?
I was in a state of shock. I couldn't believe that my good friend had contracted the AIDS virus.
Should this send a message to other professional athletes?
Many athletes believe that because they are physically strong, they are invincible. We all need to take a careful look at our lifestyle. If Magic can get it, anyone can get it.
Are you looking forward to playing with Magic in the Olympics in Barcelona this summer?
That is something I will remember the rest of my life. I hope a lot of people get to see Magic play in these games. We may never again see a player quite like him.
Magic Johnson's absence will cause a huge void in the NBA. The public health community hopes his ability to communicate will be used to educate the public. John Carnes, CNN News, Chicago.
Fade.
CNN News has just received word that the tennis great Arthur Ashe has been diagnosed as having an HIV virus. It is believed that Mr. Ashe was exposed during a blood transfusion he received about 5 years ago. CNN will continue to follow this story.
For the past several weeks, the Soviet Union has been in a state of turmoil as a result of Communist General Secretary Mikhail Gorbachev's sweeping reforms and the Communist Party's reactions to those reforms. A small group of hardline communists have opposed these actions and have attempted to overthrow the Gorbachev regime. Reports from Moscow say that Mr. Gorbachev has been held in captivity in his own home. From recent reports, it has been concluded that the coup has failed and Mr. Gorbachev has been set free. In Moscow, Christine Sittler reports.
I'm Christine Sittler reporting for CNN News in Moscow. With me is Mr. Boris Yeltsin, President of the Russian Republic. President Yeltsin's responses will be through interpreter Kim Pakalak. Mr. Yeltsin, Mr. Gorbachev did not receive a position of much power in your new government structure. Is this the result of the coup?
The Communist Party did not support the coup. Mr. Gorbachev's version of the party's government is full of corruption, brutality, and inefficiency. A change was required.
Can you pinpoint any particular incident that you think demonstrated your popularity with the Russian people?
When I climbed atop the tank to oppose the coup, I had a feeling of unity. It was at that moment that I felt the greatest support.
What changes do you plan, Mr. Yeltsin?
I have just signed a decree against the party, and Mr. Gorbachev and I have agreed to a clean sweep of key government officials.
In what way are your political beliefs different from Mr. Gorbachev's?
Mr. Gorbachev believed that changing men was enough. I want the whole party apparatus scrapped.
Obviously, the power was switched from Mr. Gorbachev to you. What other improvements has the coup caused for the Soviet people?
The coup has done nothing to improve the Soviet Union's disastrous economic situation. The major institutions of government were all discredited in the coup, and the economy is dramatically falling apart. Political power is moving from the center of government in Moscow to the smaller republics.
In a nation where the republics have been tearing violently at the political and economic ties that bind them to Moscow, it was the leader of the Russian Republic, Yeltsin, who saved Gorbachev, the leader of the widely discredited Union. It is the republics that will become the major decision-making centers now. This is Christine Sittler reporting from Moscow.
In Milwaukee, last summer's horrors are being revisited in the trial of the serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer. The trial is set to begin with the question of Dahmer's sanity being the key issue. Evidence gathered by investigators and eyewitness accountants, Dahmer's history, and Dahmer's own confession all point to a guilty verdict. Legal experts studying the case predict the possibility of a guilty by reason of insanity plea. In Milwaukee, CNN correspondent Louis Matheny reports.
This is Louis Matheny reporting for CNN News. I am at the Milwaukee County Courthouse and I will be talking to defense lawyer Gerald Boyle, who is representing Jeffrey Dahmer. Mr. Boyle, how do you plan to defend Mr. Dahmer?
The particulars of the case are things I cannot talk about at this time. On a less specific base, I will try to show that Jeffrey Dahmer was under tremendous mental duress from an unhappy childhood. This will likely include an insanity plea.
Has Mr. Dahmer cooperated with you as his lawyer?
He actually responded very little except for just the basic facts.
Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment was filled with human body parts when the police finally discovered it in August. How will you address this in court?
Again, particulars that detail with the case and evidence are things I cannot talk about at this time.
How did Dahmer find his victims?
Jeffrey Dahmer has a sort of friendly attitude with others.
Do you think Dahmer was sane or insane in the time of the killings?
I cannot comment on that at this time.
A young boy was found by police and was arrested, returned to Dahmer's apartment when what is happening to the policeman involved in this incident?
They have been suspended and will have disciplinary charges leveled against them. This is a separate case that I am not informed about as others might be.
Thank you, Mr. Boyle. Jeffrey Dahmer, 31, has claimed defense to the killings of 17-year-old young men. It seems now that the case will be centering around the questions of Dahmer's sanity at this time of the questions, murders, police, some of who are veterans of crime, and hideous murders. Since we're sudden and stick by what they found in apartment 213 here in Milwaukee, Wilson will be now talk to the Milwaukee City policeman involved with the case. Correspondent Jesse Stickney reporting live from the Milwaukee Police Station.
I'm here in Milwaukee talking to Steve Joins, who has been involved in the frightening case. Officer Joins, the first time you went into the apartment, what was it that led you to the building?
Well, many things led up to the point. Even the neighbors smelled the stench from the apartment for more than a year.
And just what did you find in the apartment?
After some investigations, we found 7 skulls and 4 human heads in the freezer. Several body parts were found in the refrigerator.
Who were his victims?
As far as we can tell, 17 young men, 13 of them in Wisconsin. Most of all the victims were minorities.
Have the police ever been called to Dahmer's apartment before?
Yes, once a young boy was naked and bleeding, was found outside the apartment. Apparently he had been beaten, but Dahmer somehow talked the policeman into returning the boy to the apartment. It was a mistake. The men involved having been suspended and are awaiting disciplinary actions. I have no other comments on this incident.
As you can see, there are a lot of unanswered questions concerning the man Jeffrey Dahmer and the horrifying crimes he has committed. We will watch the trial closely in the months to come. This has been Jesse Stickney for CNN Channel 6 News.
The 1992 presidential campaign is heating up. Both the Republicans and Democrats have candidates vying for the nomination of their party. Conservative Republican columnist Patrick Buchanan mounted an early challenge to incumbent President George Bush. That threat has been met, and Mr. Bush seems to have garnered enough support to maintain control of his party. On the Democratic side, several candidates have mounted serious campaigns. Trading the early leads were Massachusetts Senator Paul Tsongas and Arkansas's Governor Bill Clinton. Former Californian Senator Jerry Brown has caused waves with his anti-established government stance. A more recent force has been undeclared candidate Texas businessman H. Ross Perot. After weathering some early attacks on his personal character, Governor Bill Clinton is holding a slight lead. At the Pennsylvania primary, CNN's Adam Hodges has a story.
I'm Adam Hodges. Governor Clinton, your character has been challenged several times during the presidential primaries. Do you think this will negatively affect your campaign?
I have time to get rid of those doubts and will prove to the voters that the information being presented is of past experiences. I will teach them more about me and what I propose to do as President of the United States.
A big issue in the primary is the economy. Are you preparing to cut the federal administrative costs in order to help the economy?
Yes, I can save $6 billion a year through a 3% across-the-board trimming of federal administrative costs.
What do you plan to do to change the national health insurance system?
I promise to confront the insurance companies as well as the healthcare and a lot of healthcare providers as well as a lot of the interest groups that Congress has been unwilling to take on in the past.
Governor Clinton, what has been your goal throughout the presidential campaign?
What I've tried to do is to promote tax reform but also give the people what they want. I think Bush ought to be the issue right now, and the election should be on the economy, healthcare, and education. We don't need 4 more years of certain slow economic decline that we have been seeing with President Bush. We should no longer be told that things are getting better when they're not.
Governor Clinton has been challenged President Bush's policies and set speeches on topics that have proven to be a major issue in the eyes of the voters. With me now is just one of those voters, one of Governor Clinton's strong Democratic supporters. Mr. Reed, what is your opinion on the candidates involved?
I'm behind Clinton 100%. He is the best Democratic candidate we have. We need to get Bush out of office and let someone in who will get us out of the economic problems we are facing.
What kind of campaign do you think Governor Clinton has?
Governor Clinton has a good, strong campaign, which touches the issues that are important to the Democratic as well as the general public.
How do you think the campaign will do against President Bush?
I think we will defeat the Bush campaign. President Bush has broken promises in the past, and the voters are aware of that. The Democratic Party is fortunate to have Governor Bill Clinton as a representative.
This is Adam Hodges reporting from Pennsylvania for CNN Action 6 News.
In entertainment news, the movies this year that were popular at the box office were My Girl, The Babe, Wayne's World, JFK, Beauty and the Beast, and the controversial Basic Instinct. Several long-running television series appeared for the final time this season: Night Court, Golden Girls, MacGyver, and Matlock. After 8 seasons, one of the most popular sitcoms ever will no longer be made, The Cosby Show. Music lovers listen to a wide variety of songs including Black and White by Michael Jackson, Baby Baby, Heart in Motion by Amy Grant, and Mariah Carey's 2 big hits, Emotions and Make It Happen. Mike Tyson, known to boxing fans as Iron Mike, has been hit hard with the recent accusations of rape charges brought against him by a Miss Black American pageant contestant, Desiree Washington. Tyson has a turbulent history, a violent childhood of abandonment, street life, crime, and juvenile detention, and more recently, a troubled marriage to actress Robin Givens, whose divorce claims include abuse and mistreatment. This trial could be the final round for the heavyweight. James Rose has more.
I'm James Rose reporting from Indianapolis. In this courtroom, Mike Tyson's heavyweight champion of the world watched almost without emotion as the state of Indiana built a strong case that he had raped beauty pageant contestant Desiree Washington. Doug Sabrowski is Mike Tyson's attorney. Mr. Sabrowski, Desiree Washington accused Mr. Tyson of luring her to his hotel room, then raping her. What is your response to those charges?
We believe Miss Washington agreed to go with Mr. Tyson to his room. After having relations with him, she turned down his invitation to stay the rest of the night.
Why might she do that?
Miss Washington is a gold digger. She came to Indianapolis to rub elbows with celebrities and found an opportunity to accuse Mike and sue for a large sum of money.
Is Mike Tyson in jail now?
Mike is a celebrity with no place to go. He has $3 on $30,000 bond. He is required to surrender his passport, so he is unable to leave the country.
Rico Brooks is with the district attorney.
Jeremy O'Brien of the District Attorney's Office is responsible for trying Mike Tyson in this case. Mr. O'Brien, Miss Washington agreed to go to Mr. Tyson's hotel room. Why do you believe her claim that she was raped, rather than his claim that she consented?
Mr. Tyson invited her to go for a drive. Then he invited her to his room just to talk. When he became aggressive, she said no, then asked to leave. It is then that he assaulted. He couldn't take no for an answer.
He claims that he treated her like a lady.
Mike Tyson is a violent man with little respect for safety and well-being of others. He has said that he does not think of boxing as a sport. He sees himself as a fantasy gladiator who destructs his opponents. He has in the past been rightfully accused of brutality by his ex-wife, Robin.
What do you think the District of Constriction of Mike Tyson will do for other women like Desiree Washington that he has assaulted?
Desiree Washington, though she will definitely be affected for her entire life, she has come out of this case as the winner. Her traumatic experience has turned into a courageous stand against the sexual abuse of women in America. She is fortunate to have the jury which she had. They listened to her as will other abuse victims.
Maybe next time Mike Tyson will listen. I'm Rico Brooks reporting from CNN Action 6 News.
In Ludington, Michigan, the Cross-Lake Car Ferry service received a new lease on life. After filing for the Chapter 11 bankruptcy in November of 1990, the car ferries were purchased by former Ludington resident Holland businessman Charles Conrad. The car ferries have been converted from primarily hauling railroad cars to concentrating exclusively on passenger service. In Ludington, Melissa Martin has more.
I'm Melissa Martin. In Ludington, a small town on the eastern shore of Lake Michigan, the car ferries are at rest. Since November 16, 1990, when previous owner Glenn Bowden filed for bankruptcy, residents of this small West Michigan town have tried to receive Cross Lake service. Mr. Charles Conrad purchased the car ferries earlier this year. Mr. Conrad, it was quite a risk for you to invest a great deal of money in the car ferries before you bought them.
There is some risk in any business venture. I made a reasonable bid, and I believe my intentions with the car ferries are the best interest of Ludington. In order to get the car ferries running for the summer, we could not wait to begin with improvements.
When will the car ferries be operating?
Our main voyage will be in May of this year. The first Cross Lake trip will be carrying among its passengers 4th and 5th grade classes from Lakeview School in Ludington.
Thank you, Mr. Conrad. Becky Anderson is at the boat docks in Ludington.
Thank you, Melissa. Many improvements are in the process of being completed on the car ferries. Andrew Manitas is one of the many construction workers employed by the car ferry system. Andrew, what kind of work do you do?
I am a welder. I also have helped with some painting and other work where I am needed.
What kinds of changes are being made to the car ferries?
We have taken interstate rooms and converted them into 3 larger rooms.
What will they be used for?
We are adding several rooms for passenger entertainment and enjoyment, like a gift shop, a museum, a television room, a game room, and 2 restaurants.
How large is the car ferry?
The SS Badger is 410 feet. It will hold up to 120 automobiles. We can carry 520 people comfortably.
Thank you, Andrew. The return of the car ferries is an event that the people of Ludington and Manitowoc have awaited for nearly a year. They are hopeful that many passengers choose to take the trip across Lake Michigan. For CNN Action 6 News, I'm Becky Anderson in Ludington.
In New York, the trial of John Gotti, charged with racketeering, is in its first week. The state has based most of its case on information from Salvatore Gravano, a former member of Gotti's crime family. Zach Hullinger has more on the story.
Thank you, Casey. The trial of John Gotti is in his first week in Brooklyn. He is on trial for racketeering, gambling, tax fraud, and murder. Known as the Teflon Don because of his acquittals in 3 previous trials, Gotti may find that his luck has finally run out. I am in the New York City jail with Salvatore Gravano. Mr. Gravano, why did you turn in John Gotti?
When I found out the government had evidence leading me to several killings, I made a little deal with the feds. I turned in Gotti with evidence. In return, I can only get 20 years max.
Do you think you will be in danger when you're in jail and when you get out?
I've been assured I'll be in a witness protection cell block.
Do you know what your new identity will be? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, right. If I told you, then everyone would know.
Thank you, Mr. Gravano. And now we go to New York City Federal Courthouse with Nathan Bile. He will be interviewing Ronald Goldstack, head of the New York Organized Crime Task Force. Now to you, Nathan.
I'm Nathan Bile. With me is Ronald Goldstack, head of the New York State Organized Crime Task Force.
He led the investigation that helped capture John Gotti. Mr. Goldstock, what do you think will happen to the Gambino family?
Most of the Gambino crime operations could function even with the leadership vacuum at the top. The trouble will start if the family becomes involved in disputes with other mob families about dividing the take and shared territory, such as construction or private trash carting.
What do you think will happen to John Gotti?
Personally, I think he will be convicted, but even if he is acquitted, we know that his hold on the family leadership has been seriously weakened because he has caused too many headaches for his mob colleagues. He has been a disaster for the Gambino family.
Thank you, Mr. Goldstock. I'm Nathan Bauer reporting for CNN Action 6 News. Now back to you, Casey.
Two days ago, Pellston Prison in northwest Michigan reported that an inmate had escaped from the minimum security section of that prison. The next morning, 2 people in the village of Levering were found dead, and a car in that small town had been stolen. After a 2-day manhunt, escaped prisoner Raymond Michael Thacker was captured on US 31 north of Scottville. CNN reporter Kathy Fortier is at the scene.
I'm Kathy Fortier, reporting from US 31 north of Scottville. With me is Officer Kim Cole of the Mason County Sheriff's Department. Officer Cole, how did you first learn that the escapee was heading your way?
I received a call from Central Dispatch. They told me that the Easy Mart clerk in Manistee had said that Mr. Thacker was heading south from the Easy Mart in Manistee on US 31.
Did you have any particular place where you wanted to capture him?
Yes, north of the Sabo River Bridge. If you could have gotten south of the bridge, you could have gotten into Scottville and taken hostages, which would make the situation even more dangerous.
We have the taped conversation between the Mason County Sheriff's Central Dispatch, Manistee Sheriff's Cars, and the Scottville Police.
This vehicle stopped at a gas station within our county. Subject, fitting description, purchased a map, looked at the map for a while and left. Physical description and vehicle both match. Officers state that there is no plate on the back of the vehicle at this time they can tell. Subject escaped from Pellston. If you've seen in the news, possibly southbound in our county, on US 31 in the area of Halton Road. We have Manistee units following him. We are setting up for an intercept for a felony stop.
Off the road so Mason County can do a UE and drop in on him. Manistee County, I'm here in the parking lot at Sony's Market, Fountain Road, so he's about to come in. Come on in because he's right in front of you. You want to initiate the stop shortly. There is one car behind the subject. I will take the shoulder and the other car take the other lane and order him out with the A system. Let me know when you're ready. He's slowing down for a school bus. Don't take him near the bus. Car 36 to 7. We just passed Decker Road. We're going to make the stop south of Fountain by Gann Cars Auto Sales right now. Officer Cole, what happened when Mr. Thacker got out of his car?
We had our guns drawn, but he came out with his hands up.
What happened then?
He was told to lie down on the ground. When asked who he was, he replied, "You know who I am."
Mr. Thacker is currently being held in Manistee County Jail awaiting transfer back to Pellston. Kathy Fortier, CNN Action 6 News.
The first indication that Raymond Thacker was in this area was when a Manistee convenience store clerk, Molly Brewer, called the Manistee Sheriff's Department. Katie Lambert reports.
I'm Katie Lambert reporting from the Easy Mart north of Manistee. With me is convenience store clerk Molly Brewer. What did Mr. Thacker buy when he came to the store? He bought some Twinkies and milk and asked for a map, and he bought that too. He put all his extra change into the Manistee Humane Society can. I thought that was really nice. Why did you think the man might be Raymond Thacker?
Earlier in the day, 2 policemen came and gave me a physical description and told me he was in a maroon-colored four-door car. When he came in, I looked at him and I thought he matched the physical description. Then when he left, I saw him get into a maroon-colored four-door car. So I called the police. After I hung up, he hit his cell, so I called them back.
I'm Katie Lambert reporting for CNN Action 6 News.
In Detroit, outraged by some expressions of support by others have been directed at Dr. Jack Kevorkian, the so-called suicide doctor. Prosecutors and some family members of 3 terminally ill women are angered and taking a stand against Dr. Kevorkian and his personally created suicide machine. The doctor assisted the women in taking their own lives only after they consented. That patients actually activated the machines on their own free will. Supporters claim this is a humane, painless way to relieve their families and themselves of needless suffering and expense. Dissenters claim that no human has the right to make the decision to end another person's life. CNN's correspondent Brooke Russell reports.
I'm Brooke Russell reporting live with Dr. Jack Kevorkian and his attorney in the doctor's office where a machine was created which assisted 3 women in committing suicide. Janet Adkins of Portland, Oregon, who was suffering from the Alzheimer's disease, died from a lethal injection. In Oakland County, Sherry Miller and Marjorie Watts, who were both painfully but not terminally ill, died from the use of the suicide machine. Miller died from inhaling carbon monoxide. Watts, like Adkins, died from a lethal injection of drugs. Dr. Kevorkian, why did you invent this machine?
I think the medical profession needs to take a bigger lead in dealing with suicide. Many terminally and painfully ill people are killing themselves in a panic. Knowing that medically assisted suicide is available could help ease their minds.
Who do you think should be able to use this machine?
People who are truly suffering and would like a way to escape with the pain with dignity. Not just anyone should be able to use it.
Dr. Kevorkian, you have spoken of something called zones before. Could you explain this in a little more detail?
I recommend dividing the country into zones with a special suicide doctor in each zone. Otherwise, there would be too many suicides.
What should happen to those doctors who are not what you consider to be death specialists?
I think it should be considered a felony for those people to assist in a suicide.
Mr. Feiger, as Dr. Kevorkian's attorney, you predict that murder charges filed against the doctor will be thrown out. What makes you so certain about this issue?
There isn't a law against assisting suicide in Michigan. Dr. Kevorkian merely assisted the patients. That is not a crime.
Hasn't there been a bill introduced to ban assisted suicides?
Yes, there has been a bill proposed, but no change has been made in the law at this point.
How do you feel about the people who are prosecuting the doctor and calling him a murderer?
These people are sick people who play with the taxpayers' money like they are cops. I think they are making a big mistake.
Who will decide whether Dr. Kevorkian helped the woman die or if he is guilty of murder?
A jury will have to decide that because there were no other eyewitnesses to the deaths. Only Dr. Kevorkian and his sister were present to witness the deaths, and no testimony was presented as to who actually started the 2 death tools.
This is Brooke Russell reporting live in Oakland County for CNN Action 6 News.
For the first time ever, Gus Macker is coming to Ludington, Michigan. On July 25th and 26th, the world's largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament will be played at the beach on the sandy shores of Lake Michigan. Ludington is one of the 53 cities chosen nationwide this year. With more at courtside is Jim McDonald.
Plans for the House of Flavors Gus Macker Basketball Tournament Ludington Edition are in full swing. With me is the Ludington Secretary of Chamber of Commerce, Sue Brillhart. Mrs. Brillhart, how did Ludington happen to be chosen as a Gus Macker site?
Many people have worked long and hard to bring the Macker to Ludington. Mike Bullhouse made contact with the main officials at the other 2 tournaments he attended. My office has put much time and effort into arrangements.
How might this affect the Ludington area in general?
From looking at statistics of other communities of our size, we believe it could bring approximately $1 million worth of extra business to our area through the restaurant, motel, and lodging industries. It could be a big boost to our economy.
Will there be any inconveniences to the people of Ludington?
Well, Police Chief Wally Tronco foresees a large amount of traffic in the Ludington area that weekend, which could also lead to parking problems. If people plan a little extra time, though, it should be worth the little bit of inconvenience.
Thank you, Sue Brillhart. Here we have 3 samples of the Gus Macker shirts from other tournaments.
I'm James Larson. With me is Gus Macker co-chairman Paul Ivkovich. Mr. Ivkovich, where exactly will the tournament be played?
Our plans are not completely finalized, but at the present we expect 60 to 65 courts will be on Stearns, Outer Drive, and on the beach. The remaining 10 to 15 will be on Hot and Pure Marquette streets.
How many volunteers will be needed for this type of endeavor?
A large volume of volunteers is absolute must for this event to succeed. Our Gus Buster program, those people who will be court monitors and scorekeepers will require approximately 140 people. By the way, if anyone is interested, they should contact Rick Catt or Les Johnson. Registration will be required, probably 40 to 50 people, and for setup and takedown we would really like to have 50 people each.
How many people will be coming to Ludington that weekend?
We would have a set limit for 1,200 teams. That translates to 4,800 players. The Macker officials appreciate including spectators, will approximately have 60 people in Ludington for the tournament, 60,000 people for the tournament.
From my tournament that began with 18 friends in a driveway in Lowell, Michigan, the Gus Macker has exploded into one that covers 53 cities and 200,000 players. Ludington officials hope that their city will become a fixture of the Gus Macker Tour. Reporting from Ludington, CNN News, I'm James Larson.
Archaeologists were shocked and excited today with the revelation of the discovery of a frozen man believed to be 4,000 years old. Found in the Tyrolean Alps between Austria and Italy, the Iceman may answer many questions about people and the lifestyles of ancient times, Katrina Peterson reports.
I'm Katrina Peterson in the Tyrolean Alps. About a week ago, 2 German hikers stumbled over the body of an ancient man, frozen for what is believed to be about 4,000 years. Professor Kendall Spindler has been studying the remains. Professor Spindler, what have you learned about the Iceman?
My studies have helped me determine that he is 20 to 40 years old and about 5 feet 3 inches tall. I've also learned, due to the wear on his teeth, that his diet was meat and stone ground meal.
Do you have any other information about his physical characteristics?
Yes, I know that his eyes were blue, he had neatly trimmed fingernails, and he had tattoos on his back and knee.
Was the Iceman wearing any type of clothing when you found him?
Yes, he had a leather coat, a wooden backpack, and leather boots lined with hay. The boots indicated that he traveled by foot.
Did you find any tools that showed if he hunted?
I found 14 arrows, but no bow, a knife, and a bronze-headed axe. I found from the flint chips that he knew about fire.
What does this discovery of the Iceman tell you about European history?
In the Bronze Age, the people were mostly farmers, but a few miners who dug for copper. Previously, we were only able to gather information
from the things we dug during digs. For the first time, we had a man in his normal clothes with equipment he would have carried with him.
Mr. Frank Bender, who has also been involved in getting information from the Iceman. Mr. Bender, you are responsible for making a drawing and sculpture of the ancient man. How did you come up with what he looked like?
It was from the first detailed photographs of the Iceman that I was able to create a sculpture which closely resembled him.
What is your theory of how the Iceman died?
Because of the marks on the back of the skull and the way the nose was pushed up, I think he slid down between two ice glaciers and was wedged there.
What was he doing up in the icy mountains?
No one can ever really know for sure. He may have been hunting, which would explain the need for the arrows, or maybe he was on his way to visit a friend or trade goods with people on the other side of the mountains.
Did the man suffer before his death?
Again, we cannot know for certain. The official autopsy's report isn't due until this summer. At that time, more information will be available to us.
As soon as we know that information, we will let you know. This has been Katrina Peterson reporting for CNN Action 6 News.
In sports, the Blue Devils of Duke University successfully defended their NCAA basketball championship by defeating the University of Michigan 71-51. After a season in which they were rated number 1 from start to finish, the Blue Devils had to rally from a 1-point halftime deficit to overcome the Wolverines. Nathan Kowalczyk is in Minneapolis with Mike Krzyzewski, coach of the national champions.
I'm Nathan Kowalczyk. The Duke Blue Devils successfully defended the NCAA title by defeating the University of Michigan 71-51. After a dreadful first half with 7 turnovers, Christian Leitner recovered to lead the Blue Devils to a victory. Michigan, with a starting team of 5 freshmen, led at halftime, 31-30. Michigan fell in the slump after the second half began, and with some of their better players in foul trouble, they needed a comeback, which never came. Christian Leitner and Thomas Hill played outstanding games, which earned them MVP of the game. Duke coach Mike Krzyzewski, how do you feel after this great win?
This is the most gratifying year I've ever had as a coach. I feel we deserve this win. We were ranked number 1 all year.
Were you nervous at halftime when you were down to the Wolverines?
I was a bit concerned, but one of my best players, Christian Leitner, was not playing an impressive first half. Fortunately, we were only down by 1.
Congratulations on your comeback and your eventual win. Let's now go to Adrian Hanna reporting in Ann Arbor, home of the University of Michigan.
I'm Adrian Hanna. In Ann Arbor with James Vasco of the Michigan Wolverines. James, what was it like playing in 2 national championships?
After winning a championship in 1989, I felt better than I've ever had in my life. Losing this time is like having a dream before your eyes and having it crushed.
After sparking Michigan's comeback at Cincinnati game, do you feel you could play an effective role against the Duke Blue Devils?
If Coach Fisher would have given me a sufficient playing time, I feel I could have helped the Wolverines just a little bit more.
James, do you hope for a start next year?
At this point, I am only interested in helping my teammates to the best of my ability.
Following the game in which the Wolverines were ousted, students of U of M participated in a protest riot. Rioters set fire to trash bins and pulled street signs to show they're upset at the loss. With me now are some students who are present at the riot. What happened to cause the destructiveness?
The police seemed to get tired of hanging around and started using excessive force to move them. All the windows and bottle throwing followed the police action.
Do you think the police handled things appropriately?
None of the violence would have happened if the police wouldn't gas the crowd.
I've never seen anything like this before. As simple lower free could have happened a lot of trouble.
We lost, and then they did this to us. Enough is enough.
For CNN Action 6 News, this has been Adrian Hanna reporting.
In a summary of other sports news, here's Susan Silvas.
In the World Series, for the first time in history, two teams rose from last place one season to first place the next meet. In the Fall Classic, in one of the most exciting series in history, the Minnesota Twins defeated the Atlanta Braves 4-3. 3 of the games were decided in extra innings. Also in history first. In a rundown of football results, the University of Washington Huskies defeated the University of Michigan Wolverines in the Rose Bowl. As a result, Washington was voted to a tie with Miami, Florida, as national champions of college football. In the Super Bowl, the Washington Redskins defeated the Buffalo Bills. In women's basketball, the Stanford University Cardinals defeated the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers for women's national championship of college basketball. In Michigan, the Calvin College Knights were crowned NCAA Men's Division III National Basketball Champions. The Alleman College Sox were the champions of the Women's Division III National Tournament.
The Winter Olympics in Albertville, France are quickly coming to a close. Many events have been completed with gold, silver, and bronze medals awarded to the victors. Most recently, figure skating has come to a conclusion. With a report on the competition and to talk with the champions, Sarah Hutchinson is in Albertville.
I'm Sarah Hutchinson in Albertville, France at the Winter Olympics. Bobsledding, speed skating, and hockey competitions have already been completed. In figure skating, Christy Yamaguchi, Midori Ito, and Nancy Kerrigan held the top 3 spots, winning both the gold and bronze medals for the United States. With me now are Christy Yamaguchi and Nancy Kerrigan of the United States. Christy, how does it feel to be an Olympic champion?
It feels great. I can't believe I won this year. I tried hard and enjoyed the games.
Halfway through your routine, you had an unfortunate fall. What did this do to your confidence?
I was a little shaken. My next trick was supposed to be a triple salto. I changed it to a double in order to put myself together.
It obviously did help because you went on to land the difficult triple lux and finished very well. What are your plans now that you have won? I will try hard at the championships. Congratulations, Christy, on your medal, and good luck in the championships. Thank you. Midori Ito of Japan won the silver medal. The bronze medalist from the United States is Nancy Kerrigan. Nancy, Paul Wiley, world-famous figure skater, trained with you. How did that affect your performance?
What he did made me feel like anything was possible, anything. Perhaps even beating Midori Ito, who is everyone's choice to win the gold.
Are you happy with your performance?
Overall, I am happy with the way I skated. I really didn't do well on my long program on Friday, but I saved myself during the original skate portion of the competition.
Did you expect to walk away with a medal?
No, I really didn't. Unfortunately, I came down with the flu my first 3 days in Albertville. I thought that would bring me down. It may have been a good thing, though, because I didn't wear myself out practicing. I was able to stay fresh, and it paid off in the end.
Your skating seems to have greatly improved. What has been the key for you?
I learned to combine my own graceful style with the athletic ability that I have. The athletics is more difficult for me, so I have learned to let the gracefulness take over.
Keep up the good work, Nancy. We will be looking forward to seeing more of you on the ice in the future.
Thank you very much.
This is all for the 1992 Winter Olympics figure skating competition. I'm Sarah Hutchinson for CNN Action 6 News.
And that's the news for today, 1991-92. For Action 6 News, I'm Casey Bars.
And I'm Stephanie Muir. Good night from CNN.
I'm John Erickson. This just happens to be my 10th year of teaching at the Ludington schools, and what a year. The things I'll remember most will be the inquiry plays and projects, and Mr. Katz's 60th, I don't know, one of those birthdays that he had in there. Predictions for 1998. I predict that AIDS will be cured, or at least enough progress that it'll save a lot of lives, but not in time before we lose tragic numbers of the poor, the rich, the common, and the famous people. It'll have a tremendous effect on the world to come. Another prediction, Ludington will experience the biggest growth of its history in both tourism and industry. In my last prediction, there will be a cure for baldness, but too late for this guy. The term baldness will be replaced by a kinder and more gentler term called follicle-free. Thank you.
I'm Kelly Chapman. My most memorable and also enjoyable experience this year was beginning to teach at Lakeview Elementary School in the middle of the year on January 13th, 1992, a date I'll always remember and enjoy. My predictions for the next 6 years are that the graduating class of 1998 will be drug-free thanks to our DARE program, and will continue to be a cohesive, hardworking, and successful group that we will continue to be proud of, and we will remember them forever. I believe that we will all see Ludington grow and prosper in the next 6 years, and we will be proud to say that we live in Ludington. Thank you.
I'm Sarah Hutchinson, and the most memorable thing is Mr. Beckstrom leaving and Mrs. Chapman coming. I predict that I will graduate and go to Michigan State, and I will study and become a doctor. Also, I predict that the world will be polluted.
Hi, I'm John Lynn. I'll remember Mr. Cat, Mr. Erickson, and I'll be graduating and going to Michigan State.
I'm Adam Hodges. The most memorable experience was when Mr. Beckstrom left and Mrs. Chapman came. My prediction that I will be going to University of Michigan.
Hi, my name is Katrina Peterson, and the most memorable thing in 6th grade is DARE class and the switch of teachers, Mr. Beckstrom and Mrs. Chapman. In 6 years, the world will not be polluted, and there will be a way to fill in the ozone hole. I will be going to Kendall School of Art and Design. I will major in architecture.
Hi, I'm James Larson. I remember the day of the Wheels program, and I'll go to Michigan University.
I'm Lindsay Snagowski. The thing I'll remember from this year is when Mr. Beckstrom left and Mrs. Chapman came. For 6 years, the prediction will be I will graduate from high school and be going to college to be a lawyer.
Hi, I'm Christine Sittler. The thing I remember most about 6th grade is being the shortest in the class and dingle hoppers. I predict that I will go to Michigan State University to be a doctor.
I'm Angela Knapp. I'll never forget when I hit my head on the side of the pool and had 2 black eyes. In 6 years, I will go to Michigan State to be a teacher.
My name is Tommy Smogleski. I will always remember when I had a broken shoulder. My prediction is 6 years from today, the Coffeers will be going to Chicago.
Hi, I'm Bethany Tance, but everybody calls me Beef. I'll always remember all my old friends leaving and my new friends coming. I'll also always remember my good friend, Casey Bars, and being the 3rd shortest. I predict that Germany will split back up.
My name is Andrew Manitas, and I will remember the news programs and friends from the other schools, and that me being the smallest person in the class. And my prediction will be that there's going to be a cure for AIDS and magic will live. Epilepsy dies out, and I guess that's all.
Hello, my name is Paul Nicholson. The most memorable thing that happened to me this year is when I sang my solo in the Wheels program. And in 6 years, I predict that the Charlotte Hornets will be the #1 ranked team in the NBA, and I will go to Michigan University.
I'm Willie Reed. The thing I remember most about this year is when Mrs. Chapman came to Lakeview School. I will predict in 6 years I will go to Michigan State University and will hope to play soccer.
I'm Jim McDonald. I will remember having DARE every Thursday to learn about drugs. I predict that I will go to MSU and become a pharmacist.
I'm Adrian Hanna. The most memorable thing that I will remember is the Detroit trip, and I predict that the president will be anybody but Dan Quayle.
Hi, my name is Aaron Sun. The thing I remember about 6th grade is all my great friends and my teachers and Mr. Jury leaving. I predict that there will be a mall in Ludington and I will be able to work in the mall.
I'm Kathy Footier. I predict that in 6 years I'll be getting ready for graduation, and there will be 3 car ferries running. The things I remember from this year are coming to Lakeview and the car ferry starting up.
I'm Casey Bars, and the things I remember most about 6th grade are moving from Foster to Lakeview, all my friends, especially Beefy, and the dumb blonde jokes. The things that I predict and hope will come true is that in 1998 there will be no such thing as dumb blonde jokes.
I'm Katie Lambert. The things I will remember about 6th grade was when my brother graduated from college and Dingle Hoppers. In 1998, I think half of the United States will have blue hair, and I will be going to Michigan University. I'm Abby Ferris, and the thing I will remember about 6th grade was Mr. Beckstrom leaving and Mrs. Chapman coming. I predict I will graduate and go to a good college to be a marine biologist.
I'm Nathan Kowalczyk. The most memorable experience was when Mr. Beckstrom left and Mrs. Chapman came. I predict I will go to Michigan State University and become a doctor.
Hi, my name is Rico Brooks. The most memorable of 6th grade is me coming to Lakeview and all my teachers and friends. In 6 years, I'll be playing football and basketball.
Hi, I'm Louis Matheny. One thing I remember about 6th grade is Mr. Erickson and Mr. Cat, and I want to go to MSU. Hi, my name is Zach Langer, and I predict that in 6 years, Indiana will be #1 in the NCAA, and the thing I remember about this year is I will become Farmer Zeke.
Hi, my name is Brooke Russell, and what I will remember most about 6th grade will be the class trip to Detroit. I predict that in 6 years there will be a woman president. I'm Catherine Buchwald, and the thing I'll remember about 6th grade is when Mrs. Chapman came. In the future, I'll predict that I'm going to Michigan State University training to be a veterinarian.
I'm James Rhodes, and most thing I'll remember when I was in 6th grade, Mr. Beckstrom and Miss Chapman coming. And I predict that in 6 years I'll be going to Michigan, University of Michigan.
I'm Susan Silvis, and I'm going to remember my teachers, Mr. Cat and Mr. Erickson. I predict that in 6 years the U.S. will make a solar-powered car that can run in the daytime or at night.
My name is Nathan Cole, and some of the things I remember about 6th grade is
my basketball team not winning a single game, and Mr. Erickson's favorite food is vegetable quiche. And I predict in 6 years the San Antonio Spurs will be the NBA champs.
I'm Blake Bailey, and the most memorable experience was going on to the Detroit trip and JR breaking my glasses in gym class. And in 1998, Michigan will win the NCAA, and I will go to the University of Michigan.
Hi, I'm Eric Williams. I'll remember how to say no to drugs, and I'll predict that I'll be going to University of Michigan State to become a lawyer.
Hi, my name is Carrie Shea, and the things I will never forget in 6th grade is that we had Mr. Beckstrom for half the year and Mrs. Chapman for the other half. And I will never forget this news program we just did. And I predict that the ozone will have another hole, and that they will have a cure for many diseases that they don't have a cure for now.
Hi, I'm Steve Joines, and I predict that there will be a woman president, and the thing I'll remember about 6th grade is Mr. Cat, Mr. Erickson.
I'm Darcy Marison, and I'll remember all my friends and both my teachers, and in 6 years I'll be graduating and going to college.
My name is Jocelyn McCormick. I remember when I played basketball and fell asleep in my Navy, and I think Michael Jordan will retire in 6 years.
My name is Crystal Kraft. The one thing I'll remember about 6th grade is Mr. Beckstrom leaving and Mrs. Chapman coming. And I predict in 6 years I will be going to Michigan State University or Ferris State University.
I'm Shannon Oregon, and the thing I remember most about 6th grade is coming to Ludington from Manistee, back to Ludington from Manistee. And in 6 years, I predict that I will be graduating and going to medical school to be a pediatrician.
I'm Doug Sobraski, and I will not forget selling for the trip and probably going to the trip. And I predict I will not be here to see the tape.
Hi, I'm Jesse Stickney. The thing I remember is Mr. Cat and Mr. Erickson. I predict that in 6 years I'll be going to University of Georgetown.
My name is Becky Anderson. The things that I want to remember in 6 years is that Magic Johnson, the famous basketball player, went public about having AIDS. Also, I will remember Mr. Cat and Mr. Erickson, and I will remember moving to Lakeview. I predict that in 6 years, some of the famous basketball players like Michael Jordan or David Robinson will not be so popular.
My name is Erica McAfee. What I remember about 6th grade is when Mrs. Chapman came and Mr. Beckstrom left. I predict in 6 years I'm going to go to Ohio State and then to Africa to be a doctor.
My name is Nicole Bartels, and the most memorable memory is Mr. Beckstrom leaving and Miss Chapman coming in the middle of the year. And my prediction is in 6 years I will be going to Quincy College, and I predict that Ludington will be connected with Scottville.
I'm Nathan Bao. I will remember going on the fossil hunt with my dad and my sister and brother, and I predict I will be going to Duke University.
Hi, my name is Brian Engelhardt, and I will remember my basketball team, and I will never forget Mr. Cat, Mr. Erickson, and Mrs. Chapman dancing during the credits. I predict I will be going to University of Michigan, and Bo Jackson will still be playing baseball.
I'm Mike McFadden, and my most memorable moment in 6th grade will be the trip to Detroit, and my prediction for 6 years is that I'll be going to Michigan State University, and they'll have a way to get rid of nuclear waste.
My name is John Carnes, and I will never forget moving to Ludington from North Dakota. My prediction is that the astronauts will be able to fly to Mars in less than a year.
I'm Larissa Genter. Some of the things that I will remember most about 6th grade is when I moved from Franklin to Lakeview and Dare. In 6 years, I predict that I'll be going to Michigan State College to become a veterinarian. Then I'll move to Australia.
I'm Stephanie Muir. The thing I will remember most about this year is coming to Lakeview from Foster and meeting new friends. I predict in 6 years I will be enrolled in Michigan State University to be a teacher.
I'm Mike Coles, and I will remember Mr. Cat and Mr. Erickson. My prediction is I will be in college in 6 years.
I'm Kim Paklak, and I will remember the Winter Olympics, and I predict by 1998 people will be driving solar-powered cars.
I am Melissa Martin. I remember our trip to Detroit, and I remember when I came here from South Amherst. I predict in 6 years I will be going to University of Michigan and be a veterinarian.
I'm Jeremy O'Brien, and I predict that I'll be going to University of Michigan, and my most memorable thing is when I got my first black eye.
I'm Mrs. Ketchum. I've worked for Mr. Erickson and Mr. Cat in the 6th grade room this year. I've worked for 4 new teachers this year, and my husband and I retired this year. And I predict the United States will be stepping up their military, and I also predict that space travel will be available to the public in 6 years.
Hi, I'm Mr. Cat. There, I waited this time, Mr. Erickson. I'm Mr. Cat, and this is the end of my 5th news program. This year I'll remember moving to Lakeview from Franklin School. I'll also remember getting up at 5 o'clock so we could have our 6 o'clock a.m. sub-sales twice. I'll remember the books we read, Don't Hurt Laurie, Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. I'll remember eating gruel and watching the movie Oliver Twist, and I'll remember the book The Wave. I'll also remember our popcorn and bake sales every Friday. Hated the popcorn, loved the bake sales. I'll remember my 40th birthday party. Thanks a lot. And I'm sure I'll remember all of you. I predict that in 6 years, the U.S. will be in another military conflict. I predict Michigan will have a different governor, not Mr. John Engler. And my prediction of every year, I predict that bell-bottom pants will again be in fashion. I predict the Ludington Gus Macker will have at least 3,000 teams by 1998. And I also predict that I'll still know all of you by name. Goodbye 1992. Hello 1998.